I have another one of these kind of dystopian stories about my interactions with the medical system. Many of you will remember my infamous $35,000, $40,000 appendectomy from a couple of years back. I have a new one. Guys, I had a freckle removed, and we're talking about $2,300. So here's what went on. I have various freckles and moles like many people do. I'm not going to list where every single one of them is, but all sorts of different places. And I had one on my abdomen. It just looked a little bit different. It had a little bit of a glow around it. It had like a little black dot and what was otherwise a brown. Okay, well, listen, I don't need to describe to you the exact the dermatological characteristics, but I said, I'm going to have this one looked at. So I went to my dermatologist and I said to him, "Sir, what do you think?" And he looked at it and he said, "It's probably fine. Let's put it under a black light." I forget what that's called, but he did that. And he said, "The black light stuff, it also seems fine, but we can't really be sure unless we do a biopsy. Do you think you want a biopsy?" And I said, "Oh boy, I don't know. I'm not big on medical procedures. What's the biopsy?" He says, "Little shot of numbing. And then I take this thing called a biopsy punch. Looks like a hole punch. And we'll just punch out a 2 millimeter little circle. We'll send it out to be looked at." I said, "Do you think medically it's appropriate?" He said, "Listen, my view is when your attention goes to a particular freckle or mole, it might be for a reason. So we'll get information. Let's do it." I said, "Fine. Numb me up. Give me the whole thing." We did it. I have pretty crappy insurance because as a self-employed individual, I'm in the private market. Private market plans are just terrible. I pay $543 a month, and I still have a $60 copay for specialists, and I still have a $2,000 deductible for analysis of any kind. So he does the biopsy, and I hear back, "It's benign. It's benign. It's nothing. Let's just see if it comes back. We'll keep an eye on it, but it's benign. No need to worry." Great. Well, I know I'm going to get a bill for my $60 copay. First bill comes in, and I'm putting these up on the screen for you guys. First bill is for $631. Whoa, wait, hold on. Where did this come from? Well, I had my office visit, so they charge for that. I had the biopsy. That was $204. Okay. And then there was the lab pathology that needed to be done. You can't just do the biopsy. You've got to study the biopsy. So that's another $159. So now it's $631. My insurance covered about half, leaving $300 for me. So I've got my $60 copay, but some of this stuff is not part of the office visit. It's extra. So I owed $307. And I thought, okay, well, that's not that bad. But wait a second. What about the facility? I mean, guys, they've got to keep the lights on. The temperature was pleasant in the room. So I've got to pay for the facility. But also, I need to pay for the procedure itself. I don't even know I thought I already did. So that's another $1,150. But not to worry. My insurance company has covered $510, leaving only another $639 for me. Now, you want to know the sick reality before I total all of this up for you guys? Part of what the insurance covered, they didn't actually pay. It's that my insurance negotiated a discount. So even though it shows up that my insurance covered $510 of one piece and $320 of the other piece, they didn't really cover $800. More than half of that was thank God they did this for me. Aren't they nice? They negotiated a discount with my insurance company. So at the end of the day, a 5-minute biopsy ends up with me owing for the month $1,489. I'm already in for $543 on my health insurance, and then I owe another $940 for the biopsy. Am I better off not having insurance? Is a really fair question. There's this whole cycle that happens, and we've talked about the broken nature of this system. Not everybody pays. and insurance companies negotiate discounts. So this creates a race to the bottom, really a race to the top, where the providers keep bumping up the prices that they bill to insurance, knowing that insurance is going to come to them and say, we don't want to pay that much, we want to pay less, so give us a discount. And then knowing that some people won't have insurance and they'll end up not paying at all, and they'll have to write off some of that. So they have to raise the price even more to account for some people aren't going to pay. Maybe they really should only be charging $300 for this total, but between insurance and medical billing and overhead and negotiated discounts, it goes up, 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 up. So at the end of the day, if I didn't even have insurance, it's conceivable that I could have gone to them and said, guys, do you have a cash price? Because I have no insurance. I would have saved my $540 a month in premium, and maybe they would have said, we will accept X or we will accept Y or some smaller amount. Obviously, the risk with that is if you have something really major, $250,000, $500,000, ICU stays really, really bad. Even the cash discount is not going to be affordable. So just another, this is not unique. This is a very small thing. I know many of you in the audience have emailed saying you've got hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in bills because you're on expensive medications or require expensive treatments, etc. I am just giving you a tiny little example. This was the smallest skin biopsy that could be done, the 2 millimeter. They call it the little boy. It wasn't you don't want to see the big boy when they have to do the big boy. And we're talking about total $2,300, of which I end up paying 9 something plus my health insurance premium. It's not a sustainable system. And by the way, I can afford this, right? At the end of the day, this $950, I can afford it. It's painful. Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating, but I can afford it. 40% of the country can't meet an unexpected $400 expense without going into debt. I went in thinking I have a $60 copay. When there, the doctor says the appropriate thing is to do a biopsy. What am I going to say? No? And all of a sudden, I come out owing $950 in addition to my health insurance premium. It's a crazy system. And I know that I will get emails from people around the country saying, or around the world rather, saying, David, that system in the US is nuts. We know it's nuts. Trust me, we know it's nuts.